Back with you at the Pepsi Center in Denver, Colorado. Whenever we're in Denver, we like to have Nathan MacKinnon with us on After Hours, especially when he's as hot as he has been. 1 assist tonight, although one you weren't particularly proud of. But you went into yesterday's game as the first Avalanche player to record 20 points in 10 games since Joe Sakic did it back in '06. So now you've earned a comparison to the great Joe Sakic. How's that make you feel?
Pretty good. I mean, Joe, I don't think I'm catching 700 goals, but I guess
you never know.
I guess 10 games, I'll take it. I got something to say to him.
Louis.
You know, you're off to a tremendous start this year, probably the best of your career. And, you know, we talked a little bit this morning about you coming in just wanting to be a little bit faster, a little leaner, and it looks like you're a little quicker on the ice. Is that part of the impact you've had this year?
For sure. I think in the summer, just getting your body right, and you know, I think a big thing too is my mind. You know, my 5th season now, I've learned to stay even keel. You know, trust my game, and obviously things are going to come eventually. Whether they don't come, I had a slow start to the season. I just kept believing in it. Obviously, Gabe and Mikko have really helped me out. They've been awesome, and the rest of the team. So, you know, it's been a good start for myself, and you know, we've proved some people that we can play too.
All right, so Nathan, check out some numbers here that support the fact that November has been the best month of your career. How have you caught fire in November?
I don't know. I just think that you know, you're kind of getting used to it in October. You know, I don't know how to explain it. I guess I've always liked November. Even in junior, it's always fun. Get the cheesy mustache going. And, yeah, I mean, I guess I need to continue that, obviously, all season, my numbers in November. But I can build on that for sure. And like I said, I think I've learned to stay more even keel. That'll help me throughout the rest of the season.
You know, a year ago at this time, your season wasn't lost, but it was about to be. A year later, the Avalanche have a winning record. Despite the fact you lost tonight, but you're still in the playoff conversation. Why are things so different here this year?
Well, I think everybody has a chip on their shoulder. I mean, all of our returning guys, we didn't have very good seasons. We want to prove to the league that we can play, and you know, obviously, all of our young guys, they just want to be in the NHL. So they're working extremely hard, and also we're very fast. We're very young and fast, and we can score. Obviously, tonight we didn't score many goals, but I think we're in the top half of the league in scoring. Our power play's been better, and yeah, we're just believing in ourselves. And obviously, myself and Gabe, and now that Dutchie's gone, we need to step up too. And it's a challenge, but I feel like you know, we're doing a pretty good job so far.
You know, you mentioned something about the young guys that have injected a lot of energy on this team, and it seems like you guys are closer this year. You guys just seem to be having a lot of fun together. Like when I watch you guys interact, you're all on the same page.
Yeah, that's spot on. I mean, I think you know, we're so young that, you know, the young guys are the leaders on the team. You know, obviously it's been tough. You know, myself, Gabe was a captain at 19, so I mean, and even for me as an assistant, it was tough to get through or have the confidence to talk in the room to 38-year-olds, and you know, Iggy and Boschman. Those guys were great leaders for sure, but definitely a lot more comfortable this season. And that helps. I think it helps my play too. I just feel more comfortable in the dressing room. I think everyone does as well.
You get a guy like Alex Kerfoot join the team this year, and he's seen as a young guy, you know, NHL rookie, but he's 23. He's actually a year older than you.
Yeah.
How nice it must be to not be hit with the what's wrong question everywhere you go, as you were last year. Nonetheless, there were some highlights for you last year, in particular, one that caught everybody's attention late in the season. This goal against the Washington Capitals, in which you split the defense and a sweet move to score. I think this goal speaks to the expectations that fans have for you as a first overall draft pick, which is they expect something special from you every time you step onto the ice. Do you feel that pressure?
I don't feel it. You know, some nights are a little more confident than others. You know, sometimes everything's going right, and sometimes, you know, you're fighting a little bit. You know, I don't feel the pressure, but I definitely expect a lot of myself when I get the puck. I feel like the neutral zone is an area of my strengths, and obviously in that goal, I got fortunate I could put it through him twice, but I mean, that doesn't always happen, but you know, it definitely felt good.
Yeah, but that had everything about your game. It had speed, split the defense, it had the sweet move at the end. So here are some more numbers to support how well you and your line mates are playing at home. These are updated after tonight. 45 points in 10 home games. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, last year we, I mean, don't want to talk about last year too much, but we were poor at home. We had a poor home record, and I don't know what my numbers were, but they weren't great. this year we're using it to our advantage. I mean, we're fortunate their fans are sticking with us after last season, and I mean, those two guys have been unbelievable.
So Nathan, how quick a career can be derailed was underlined for you early this season in a game against Anaheim. A stick to the eye area. This looks nasty. When you see it, how lucky do you feel to still have 20/20 vision?
It was one of the scariest moments of my life, honestly. You know, the blade got me right in the eyeball. And it's funny. I looked up to the ref, and he was like, "Oh my God," as my eye was bleeding on the ice. So I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if my eyeball was split open. I didn't even miss it. I guess I missed the rest of the game just to be sure. But I played the next night. But I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't see for 5-10 minutes, and just feel lucky to play. I know it's a cliche, but like, you know, my life flashed before my eyes. I didn't know what I would do without hockey. But I feel very fortunate.
How long before your vision came back?
About 5-10 minutes. So, I mean, I couldn't open up my eye. They're trying to dilute it, and yeah, like I said, I feel very lucky. And you know, the blade just got me right in the eye. I think his name's Derek Grant texted me after, and which was really nice of him. I know a couple guys in Anaheim, so I know I didn't mean to do it. Just trying to lift my stick near the net, and like I said, I feel lucky.
Well, we can well see how the 10 minutes during which you waited for your vision to come back were the scariest of your life. Louis.
Yeah, you know, eyes are nothing to joke about, that's for sure. And you talked a lot about your teammates, line mates especially, Landeskog and young Mikko Rantanen. You know, people maybe don't give him enough credit. He's one of those guys that's really kind of broke onto the scene, but you've really developed a nice chemistry with those three guys. Two guys.
Yeah. I mean, Mikko was really underrated in the. You know, he was on a really poor team last year, so he didn't get the numbers, but he played great. He was our only 20-goal scorer. This year, I think he's tied or leading our team in goals, and we developed really good chemistry. Even last season, I thought we had a lot of chances that we just couldn't bury on, and we were just fighting it all year. It's tough with that bad of a losing record, but I think Mikko is one of the best rookies in the league, and he's 6'4", 225, and he's only 20 years old, so he's a force, and he's going to be one of the best wingers in the league for a long time.
So 2 brilliant seasons with the Halifax Mooseheads saw you become the first overall draft pick 2013. Nico Hischier was first overall from the Halifax Mooseheads this year. And just look at this list of players to go in the first round from Halifax since 2013. It includes Jonathan Drouin, Nick Ehlers, Timo Meier. What is it about the Mooseheads that has seen them become such a provider of top-flight NHL talent?
Well, I think it starts at the top with Bobby Smith and Cam Russell. You know, I was very fortunate. I got traded there when I was 15 to Halifax after I got drafted. And another guy who's gone now is in Drummondville, Dominic Ducharme. You know, personally, when I was 16, I think a lot of teams would like to keep their guys for 4 or 5 years so they could build something. But Dom told me he wants me to be in the NHL in 2 years from now. He doesn't want me back in Halifax after that, and I thought that was cool. You know, I wasn't even 16 yet, and he was telling me that. So they put a lot of confidence in me. They gave me every opportunity to succeed, and I think they're doing the same thing with all these guys coming in. You know, I'm sure us winning really helped attract Europeans to come to that organization. But even before that, they did a great job, and I feel very lucky to play for Halifax.
So your speed is one of your strong suits, if not the strongest. Last time we had you on this program, we talked about your match race with one of the great Canadian short track speed skaters of all time, Charles Hamlin, and here we see you beat him on the straightaway, although you couldn't beat him in the full lap.
No.
But this does speak to your speed. So now we will move to a commercial that you did, I think, this summer or maybe this fall. Here you are challenging people in that commercial. It's a CCM commercial. We'll see it now.
Catch me if you can.
Well, I guess we're not above big-time plugs on this program, but there was one for CCM. So the challenge was for people to prove they were faster than you to win a pair of skates. If Charles Hamlin couldn't beat you, how was the average Joe supposed to, Nathan?
Well, we're talking today. If some 13-year-old is going to beat me in a race, I hope not, at least. Yeah.
Well, how do they win the skates?
I think they just put their name in the contest, and hopefully they get a free pair of skates. I don't even know if anyone's getting a free pair of skates. I have to contact CCM on that one.
All right. Well, we wanted to show it because it does speak to your speed. The two most famous exports from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, you and Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby has now brought the cup home 3 times to Cole Harbour, most recently this summer.
Yeah.
When you see the reception it gets and how much it means to your home team, how much does this increase your desire to be the one bringing the cup home?
It does a lot. I think as I've gone to back-to-back cup parties, so I got that under my belt. I got a couple more than most people do. But yeah, it does. I mean, I'm so happy for him. I wish the best for Sid. If I can't win it, I hope he does every year. I see the way he works every day and how dedicated he is and how much he deserves it. But I mean, as time goes by, I know I'm young, but you know how many chances you get. So, we want to make the playoffs this season, and obviously it drives me to see how much people appreciate it. Back home, they love the cup. Sid always takes it to the Veterans Hospital, and some of those men are 90, 95 years old. I've never even seen it, so it's cool. I mean, it's definitely touched a lot of people, and I'd love to be a part of that.
Louis.
Training with him, you've talked about in the past, just makes you strive to be better and better. This team here right now, though, with the most recent move, the cupboard's starting to get full with young prospects, and there'll be more in the future. It's looking pretty bright in the future here for Colorado. You guys have really turned a corner quickly here, I think.
I think so too. I mean, just these days with all the parity. I mean, a couple years ago, Toronto came last place, and then they fought Washington last year in the playoffs, and we felt like we'd do the same thing this year. Obviously, we had a big trade. We got a lot of young guys. That Sam Girard is a special player. We have Cale Makar. We have Connor Timmins. We have a lot of good deep prospects. A lot of good, Tyson Jost, and signed a couple college guys, Kerfoot and Tony Otto. So I'm really excited, and I think everyone else is. I mean, I think people don't realize how deep we are in our prospect pool and how great of a job Joe and Chris McFarland have done. So really excited about the future.
You and Sidney remain close friends. You still have those furious off-ice training sessions in the summer in which you're fiercely competitive. You worked at his hockey school this past summer, as you have, I think, for the last 2 summers. Can you confirm it is the most popular hockey school in the world?
It definitely isn't Cole Harbour, that's for sure.
No, but they come from all over the world for it, right?
Yeah, there's Japanese kids, and I mean, kids from Montana and Sweden, everywhere. It's so many different languages, and I mean, I've never seen so many volunteers on the ice. I think this is like a 1 to 2 volunteer kid ratio. I mean, everyone wants to work the camps. But yeah, it's a great event. All goes to his charity, and it's a lot of fun.
Now, did you build a house this summer next to Sidney Crosby's?
Yeah, I did. I'm his next door neighbor.
And is he happy about that?
I don't know. I mean, I only got in there for a week last summer, and I think I went over to his house every night for dinner. He's a good cook, so I'm going to take advantage of it, but he might be moving soon.
So you're very close to each other?
Yeah, probably like
in terms of homes, I mean.
Yeah. Probably like a 5-second driveway to driveway. So.
Here's a tweet from DJ. Do you watch the 24/7 Donair Cam? I'm not sure what that is, and are they really that good?
They're the best. I think I'm pretty sure it's only an East Coast thing. People don't even, on my team, haven't even heard of them. They're definitely a cheat meal in the summer. Yeah, I mean, me and my buddies all love them for sure.
Well, Donairs are the quintessential Haligonian gastronomic experience. I think they're shaved beef on a Lebanese pita with a lot of sauce, whatever.
Yeah, Donair sauce.
And they're best served at about 2 in the morning in
They're
Pizza
delicious.
Corner, right?
I wouldn't know about that, but I've heard, they're best served around that time.
So you hear.
Late night snack.
I've heard that, yeah, Pizza Corner, yeah.
Louis.
Yeah, no, I've had a few Donairs in my day, that's for sure. There's no question about that.
Well,
but,
Louis played in Cape Breton, so.
Yeah,
you know
we were
about
talking about, you guys don't really get rocking there until a little bit later in the night, but there's always those stands that are set up on the road for people that want to get a bite to eat on the way home.
Absolutely,
And
they're everywhere.
they're some of the best.
Unbelievable, yeah. Like I said, I mean, that's a go-to. It's either pizza or Donairs, that's it. There's no burgers or anything like that. So that's what we do in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
Let's discuss your acting career. You've made guest appearances on Mr. D and the Trailer Park Boys. Here's a sample of your work in the Netflix promo for Trailer Park Boys.
Who are you? That's Nathan MacKinnon, you dumbass.
Wow, Nathan, that's some solid acting right there.
Go ahead and show it.
The kid.
No, we showed it last time you were on, but it's neat to see. Where does the acting career stand now?
Like I told you this morning, I'm taking a break. You know, it was an awesome experience. All those guys, I mean, I think a couple of them are from Cole Harbour. Bubbles is from Pictou.
Right.
They're all local guys, so it's pretty cool how big they've made it. Yeah, I mean, they texted me to come out and do a little cameo. I did a couple things with Mr. D. He invited me out when I wasn't even in the NHL yet. I was in junior. Really
But
fun
you
to
and
do.
Cameron
so.
Critchlow did an appearance on one of his programs in which he advised you to stay in school and not pursue hockey,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Jerry's a funny guy. I mean, the Chillicothe boys are awesome too. So.
Yeah. Louis.
Well, no, I really don't have too much else to ask, to be honest with you. I'm just listening to the stories you're telling.
Then, all right. So, Nathan, you're waiting for the proper role to come along now. We'll leave it at that as far as acting goes. Well, actually, we won't leave it at that as far as acting goes because you and Sidney Crosby's Tim Hortons outtakes from a couple of years ago when you were manning the drive-in went viral, largely because neither of the two of you were acting. You were just being yourselves, and that was evident. So we showed a few of those the last time you were on the program. Just in case anyone missed them, here's a couple more.
Hey, Crosby.
I'm Nathan MacKinnon.
And we're running the drive.
Crispy chicken jalapeno burger.
Sidney Crosby!
From Cole Harbour. Who
He
else?
was loving this too, wasn't he?
So first called him McGinnis.
Oh, man.
Begins with last name begins with an M. McGinnis.
And then there was the woman that said that you were too young for her,
Yeah.
and then when she saw you at the drive-through window, she said, "Well, you're still too young." And I think you said to her, "Well, I'm young, but I'm mature for my age." Now you're 22 and even more mature. Right?
Yeah, really mature these days. Yeah.
Did you guys shoot anything this summer?
Yep. We shot another little snippet. We're in the dressing room. Just he kind of went up to me by putting the C over my A. It was good. I mean, I think those drive-throughs were awesome. I mean, like you said, we were just messing around,
Right.
and we were just filming us. We had an awesome time. A little disappointed that people in Cole Harbour don't know who I am, but I guess I gotta win a couple cups.
Yes, your day will come.
Yeah, I gotta win a couple cups, but it's all good.
You mentioned Joe Sakic earlier on, and he was one of my favorite players to play against and watch play the game. The general manager of the team and the job that he's done. But what type of an influence has he been on you as a player, a guy that's kind of been through it himself as a star in the game?
He's been awesome. I mean, he's been very patient with me for the last 3-4 seasons. He's like in Halifax, he's instilled a ton of confidence in me. He's a guy that I can talk to about, he's one of the best players ever. I mean, he's one of the best goal scorers ever. He's a winner. So it's fun to talk to him about plays, and if I'm fighting him out there, he'll kind of chirp me. He's a funny guy, and you can see why he's a captain for 20 years in the NHL. Class act, and yeah, he's done an awesome job, especially as of late. I mean, getting all these prospects, and we're lucky to have him.
Nathan, you mentioned your coach Jared Bednar earlier. I want to show you a piece of video, but before we see it, how even-tempered would you say Jared Bednar is?
Really even keel, which is great. Yeah, Bedsy's a pretty chill guy, and easy to talk to, very approachable, which I think is very important these days. And he didn't really have a fair shake last year. I thought he got the job late August, and this year he's been awesome. I mean, I think he obviously prefers a young team coming from the AHL. We had a very young, fast team there in Lake Erie, and similar here. Like I said, he's been great this season, and it's nice not having a coach that's up and down all the time. He talks to everybody, he respects everybody, and he's been great.
All right, so he's coached for 15 years. Let's go back to 2010. He was an assistant coach for Abbotsford in the AHL, working for Jim Playfair, who had one of the most memorable attacks of spontaneous combustion a coach has ever had. And there's Jared Bednar behind him, trying to convince.
Oh my God! I didn't know that.
Trying to convince Jim Playfair to keep his clothes on, and please don't break any more $250 sticks.
That is, oh my God! I haven't seen that clip in a while. I get mad, but I don't know how someone can get that bad.
So you've seen that before, but did you know that was Jared Bednar standing
I
behind
had no
him?
idea, but you see him in the back being all calm and even keel. He's just trying to calm him down.
One thing he said to us this morning is that you are an emotional guy, and you get fired up, and that's one of the things you've had to really concentrate on keeping in check to keep yourself focused in the right direction. Is that just part of the maturing process for you and just learning how to use that at the right times?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's been a big thing for me. I think in the past that I could get a little distracted by my emotions. I'm a very emotional person, and pretty much everything. I get fired up, and I think that could distract me from what I need to do on the ice. And that's another thing I've really worked on this season is just, sticking to my process goals and trying to, accomplish those every night and not focus on the numbers, which is a big thing for me. And like I said, I mean, I am very emotional, and I'm definitely trying to keep that in check. But it's easy with the guys in the room now. Makes it easy for me.
So, Nathan, we had to do some serious research to find this piece of video that we're going to see here in a moment. Nathan MacKinnon, I think at the age of 14, doing a video lecture on nutrition
How are you going to
for
do this,
athletes.
Steve?
It runs about 5 minutes.
You're not going to show 5 minutes, are you?
Yeah, we got the time. So we don't have the whole thing. No,
I'll
we
give you
don't.
5 seconds. Come on. I can't.
No, we're not going to show the whole thing.
I can't. This is awful.
No, it's good. So here are 2 of the very valuable pieces of information dispensed by 14-year-old Nathan MacKinnon.
Hi, I'm MacKinnon here to talk to you about how an athlete's nutrition affects their performance. Personally, the most important thing I think is water. Water is the most important components for an athlete's performance. During it, you lose sodium and fats. But remember, this is a simple carbohydrate, so intake is recommended after, not before.
Oh my God.
Okay, now my favorite part by far, and I'm sure the favorite part of everybody watching, was you're almost at the end. You're about 4 minutes into this 5-minute lecture,
I'm killing my-
and the bedroom door opens, and it's either your mother or your sister, right?
No, it's my roommate. It's my
okay.
roommate, Danny Tyrone. He's playing for New Hampshire as a goalie there. So yeah, he was interrupting my. He's actually a health freak, so I'm sure he did the whole project.
So clearly
for me.
you're thinking at that point, though, oh God, don't tell me I have to do this whole thing again.
I'm wearing my cutoff shirt.
It's like, stay away.
Yeah, I was 14 doing a school project. I can't believe you guys found that.
We find everything.
Yeah, everything,
Nathan,
yeah.
great to have you on the program. Really appreciate
Thanks
it. So, Nathan MacKinnon, enjoying one of his best seasons of his career. Well, the best month of his career for sure. Our guest in After Hours.